Friends, we're back. Another episode, another week, another day, another weekend. We have another episode where we're going to do a random guest, and Tyler has picked a guest this time. And we're waiting for them to jump in because Tyler wants my live reaction to who it is, and I don't know who it is. Um, and that just made me a little nervous. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I just told them to jump in, so we'll get your live on air reaction. I want to see what what you think, and maybe we'll talk about who you thought it was, or what your guesses were, of maybe who you were thinking. I did tell you know the person, which
Hmm.
is you definitely do know them.
Okay. Yeah, I have some people I was guessing, but
Save it just in case you're right.
okay, okay. But other than that, I mean, how's life? How you doing?
Good. Just got back from Myrtle Beach. Went up there with Wes and Drew. We went to go see Corey. Um, had a good time, hit Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, you don't have to get too much into it because I think that was part of your agenda, right? Weekend recap.
Yeah, it was. Um, they're currently, I think they tried to join the wrong one.
Yeah, I got an email saying that someone joined, and there's no way that that's who it is.
It is. You'll
No,
see.
no way.
You'll see. You'll see.
Oh man. Okay. Oh my gosh. That would be okay.
Okay, so for the fans, what does the name say?
The name says Louis Caproni.
And you're thinking that is not Louis Caproni that will be behind that when I tell them to
I'm thinking it's not going to be, no.
please remove, please turn on your camera, sir.
Oh my God. What in the hell?
Surprise!
How did that even happen? Did you make a so for everyone that's not watching right now, the video little block popped up. We're on Zoom and it said Louis Caproni, which is Tyler's dad. And I was having some nervous sweats there for a second, thinking I was gonna have to ask your dad all these hard-hitting questions about why he left you. And then it turns out to be my lovely wife Samantha sitting in the other room of our house. So conversation will be much easier now.
I was so nervous. I was waiting to start. I was getting so anxious out here.
Oh, so you knew the whole time.
Yes. I wasn't the original plan though. I was the backup. So
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all good. It happens like that. Um, that is funny. That is so funny.
the man was too stunned to speak.
I was like, what the hell? Like, how am I gonna have a whole episode asking this guy questions? I don't know anything about him. Um, all right, what the hell? Okay, so we'll just kind of jump right into it. You know, I'll let you take the lead since you planned the episode, but yeah.
Yeah, so the agenda for today is gonna be guest introduction, which is Sammy, but I guess you'll be referred to as Trey's wife. I feel like that checks out.
I
Yeah.
like it.
And then we're gonna do an athlete. We're gonna do a little differently. I'm not gonna have you guess an athlete. I'm gonna have you guess something else that is more like in your wheelhouse. And then we're gonna do a little weekend recap. We'll do a little guest interview. You talk about yourself, what you're into, all that. Talk a little bit about the playoff games, fantasy basketball, random questions, pat peeves, closing comments. I don't think we'll go too long today because we're all trying to watch that AFC Championship.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so let's hear athlete segment.
Okay, so it's not going to be an athlete. I'm
Correct.
going to have you guess it's not. You're not gonna guess. It's gonna be like a how many can you name? Like right off the cuff. Have you heard of this before, Sammy?
Is it like name as many basketball players as you can?
Right, but so you'll have what do we usually do, Trey? 30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
So 30 seconds, and you're gonna name as many ACOTAR characters as you can.
Okay. Okay.
But me and Trey are gonna pick the numbers. So how many books are there? 5 books, 4 books?
5, yes.
Okay. I don't think you can name more than 20.
I gotta refresh my brain as a
20 was steep. I was thinking I was gonna say 7.
7. She read it. 5 books.
True, true.
it's been a
Let's
few
go.
years. It's been a
Let's,
few years.
let's go 15. Let's go 12.
You think you can do 12?
We'll see what happens.
Any character.
Okay. For those who don't know, ACOTAR is A Court of Thorns and Roses by the Sarah J. Maas.
Yeah, so it's
Let me
a
know
book
when
that's
my timer
taking
begins.
all the girlies on by storm.
Yeah.
Sorry if you hear the dog in the background, by the way.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a hellion, the monster. 2-4.
All right, Sammy. Whenever you do your first guess, I'll start the clock.
I'm ready. Farah, Nesta, Elaine, Rhysand, Cassian, Moore, Lucian, Azriel, Erwan, Abraxos. Oh my gosh, I'm already blanking.
Keep going.
It's been a
keep
minute.
going.
How many is that so far?
10.
The Cereal, King Highbrand, I think that's his name. Ooh.
That's
Time.
12.
You
That's
got 12?
Okay.
You got what you said you were gonna get, so that's a win.
The pressure was on.
Pressure was on. I like it. You performed under pressure.
I also feel like I mixed 2 books, but it's fine.
No,
The
I was
boys won't
going for
know.
the whole series. I was going the whole series.
I think I added one from a different series, but like I said, no one will know but me and
True.
Marissa.
Yeah, so you're currently reading the new book, right? It just came out, what, 2 days ago?
It came out on the 21st. So
First.
was that last Tuesday?
Yeah, something like that. You tried to coerce me into going to the midnight release of the book.
Yeah, but you are a bad husband and wouldn't come with me to Barnes and Noble at midnight for the midnight release on a Monday night.
I would object to that. You never 100% asked me to go. If you asked me to go, I would have went. Also, I'm pretty sure that was in the heat of our winter storm.
Yes. That's the reason I didn't push for it.
Yeah, it would have been brutal. So from my understanding, though, all the other books you were just invested, right? They consumed your soul, and this book has been a little different, right?
The people listening are like, wow, this is a shit episode.
No, they're gonna like it. They're probably gonna start reading ACOTAR.
So,
Especially
okay,
Mike. Mike will start reading
we're talking
ACOTAR.
about the book I'm reading right now,
Yeah.
that series. So, yes, so the book is the Fourth Wing series. Fourth Wing, I read in like 200 days, like a 500-page book. Second book was like 900 pages. I'll give it a 4 out of 5 stars. And this one is like 800 pages, but I'm a little bored. I'm having to force myself to read it, which is kind of disappointing because I've waited like a year and a half for this moment. So,
I've
Yeah,
heard a
that's
lot of
tough.
mixed reviews about the new, but this is what Onyx Storm.
yeah, I just like there's so many extra characters. I'm honestly confused half of the time of what's even going on. So, a little disappointed.
I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about it, but
Yeah.
people said they really liked Fourth Wing.
Yes, that one's amazing. Love her.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was going to talk since we're on the topic of reading. I know one of me and Tyler's kind of not necessarily New Year's resolutions, but something we've talked about kind of trying to get better at is reading. And I know, Tyler, you had like a goal of how many books you wanted to read in the year, right?
Yep.
So
12.
just 12, right? One a month. I mean, that checks out. Just to make us all feel bad, how many books did you read in 2024, Sam?
I read 34 books.
That is absurd.
That's a lot of books.
She be reading.
I be reading.
Do you read all of them or do you listen to some of them?
I've read all of those. I didn't start listening to books until one book I listened to in the car driving home for Christmas because we had a long drive. But
So
other than
you
that,
read all those?
yeah, I have mixed feelings about listening to books counting as reading them, which is an
I,
unpopular opinion, hot take. I
I
feel like
agree.
it shouldn't count.
I mean, it's something, but it's not reading.
No, it's a completely different experience. Like so that's just my hot take. I feel like it doesn't count. But your lovely wife, Marissa, I know she loves listening to books, and that's her jam. So
Yeah,
mixed feelings.
she reads and then she'll be listening to a different book, which I feel like is I have a hard enough time with just one book.
Yeah, Sammy, what are you reading? 3 books right now?
Yes.
So she does like a book club with family, and then she's reading this new book, and then you also have another book that you're just kind of currently reading. How do you pick what you read? You just go with
Usually
what you
with a
feel?
book club, we have an assigned set of chapters we're supposed to read. So usually I'll do all those in one sitting. That way I'm caught up as the rest of the group reads. And then I kind of just mix it up depending on what I'm feeling. But two of the books I'm reading right now are both fantasy, and I feel like they're kind of similar, and I don't want to mix up the story. So I'm putting a pause on my other book, which is Zodiac Academy, book 4, so I can read Onyx Storm.
That's so much stuff, man. Like
Yeah,
I have such a hard time. Like because I feel like I would get confused. Not that the books I read are similar, but my style has been like read a Stephen King book, then a different book of, whatever I'm feeling, and then go back to a Stephen King book. And I'm almost done with the book, The Dead Zone by Stephen King. It's like 600 pages, which is like super fucking long for me. And the next book I'm going to read is 200 pages called fuck.
Nice. Sounds like a great book.
Yeah, it's called fuck.
I'll add it to my TBR.
It's called a Psalm for the Wild Bill. It's like a book about like a monk and a robot. It's supposed to be really good.
Okay, interesting. I have like my nightstand is filled with books that I want to read, and I'll like see a book and be like, "Oh yeah, I want to read that," and I'll buy it off Amazon. But then it just sits in my nightstand because I don't read fast. Or what, like it's not that I don't read fast, but the only time I read is when I'm laying in bed and I'll read 10 pages and I'm literally falling asleep. Not because the book's boring, because I something about just makes me tired. So I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble.
Yeah, do you have any suggestions on how to stay awake when reading a book?
Um, well, like to read more during the day versus at night, just for that exact reason, because I feel like I get sleepy. Also, I feel like you read boring books. I'm gonna throw that out there. That might be part of the problem. Because if you
Yeah,
read a fantasy book, you'll be up at 2 a.m. finishing the book because you have to know what happens. So
that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Um, I don't know. I can't get myself to get into the fantasy ones.
What's
that's
the
okay. I don't
title?
think you're a fantasy reader. I don't think that would interest you at all, and that's okay. Um, we'll figure it out. We'll find you a genre that works for you.
We will.
What's the title of the book you're reading right now?
Uh, Magellan's circumnavigation of the globe.
Yeah, that sounds boring as fuck.
It's it's okay. Like there's interesting parts, and hearing like how he lands at these different spots as he's trying to find the strait to go over like through South America and get towards Asia is cool. But like it's getting a little repetitive. Like he sails over there, the weather's bad, they hit some storms. He chills in a port, they talk to some Indians, end up killing them. The Indians turn on him, and then he gets back on the ship, sails south a little bit, and does the same thing over and over again. And I'm not quite to Asia yet, so maybe
So
some.
so so he hasn't actually seen any Indians.
No, he's been in South America. He hasn't seen actual Indians. No, he's just what he calls Indians. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So he's just murdering people for why? To
Well, so he hasn't really done too much of murdering yet. He tries to befriend them, then they trade, and something usually goes south, and he ends up killing like four of them and then bounces.
and that's just what they told us.
Right.
Who knows how many people he killed.
Yeah, no doubt. Basically, he tries to convert them to Christianity, and when they don't speak the English and don't believe in Jesus, he kills them.
He sounds like a piece of shit.
Look, I'm just reporting the news here. All right.
Magellan. You know what? I'm anti-Magellan.
Magellan. Is it Magellan or is it Magellan? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't read that shit.
I just read it. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Okay. Anyway, that's enough of that.
Yeah, let's talk about the weekend.
Me, Wes, Drew, we drove to Myrtle Beach to see Corey.
Hmm.
And then we went to just New Year's resolution goal. Lost 2 pounds this week.
Hell yeah.
Um, then I probably gained it back and then some after this weekend, after what I ate. We went to CC's,
Oof.
so that's immediate, you know, fucking 8 pieces of pizza,
It's still
cinnamon.
$5 to eat as much as you want at CC's.
No, it was $12.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Still, what a freaking bargain.
Yeah, it's still not bad. I mean, Trump's America and Biden's America, it was $5, but Trump's America, it's $12.
Jesus Christ.
Um, I'm just kidding, everyone. Everybody relax. Um, so we did that, and then all of us were kind of arguing over whether the person coming around and picking up our stuff was considered a waiter or not at CC's.
Mm,
I think we determined no. I think we determined no, they weren't. It's more of like a bus person.
I would agree. You talking about like you have empty plates, they come pick the plates up. Are they refilling your drinks?
They offered to.
Hmm.
That was the crux of it.
That's tough. I feel like if you talking about in terms leaving a tip, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard. I think if they offer to refill your drinks and they give you some good hospitality and they're cleaning up after you, I think you toss a few bucks down.
What do you think, Sammy? You're the only experienced waiter.
Well, I have to say, for starters, it's been a hot minute since I've been to a CC's. I think since like probably seventh grade soccer like party.
Yeah, we eat
Um,
healthy around here.
but don't you obviously pay when you walk in and then you go eat and then you just leave when you're done, right? So
Right.
you pay up front. Do you tip them up front when you pay?
I don't even think it was an option. Or it might have been on the pad actually.
Maybe. I mean, I feel like in that situation, the person clearing the table, that's probably just their sole job to be doing that. It's not like they're getting your food for you. And I don't know. I mean, it's definitely nice to leave cash on the table, but I don't think it's expected
Yeah, I don't think it's
in a
expected.
CC situation, at least.
And you think about a waitress or a waiter, like they're getting paid in a wage that's not equal to minimum wage, right? So you guys at Buffalo Wild Wings got paid like what, $5 an hour or maybe even less than that?
We got like $2.13 an hour or something, but
Right.
we
So
never
you
saw a paycheck.
exactly. So you relied solely on tips. This person probably makes, whatever minimum wage is in Trump's America now. And
Seven
um,
7.25.
is it still 725?
Federal minimum wage has not gone up in 18 or 19 years.
Damn, 725 is crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild. But yeah, I think it's not expected. I think it would be nice to toss a couple bucks down. But I mean, who goes into CC's with cash? Unless you're Mike. Mike probably would go into CC's with cash.
Mike wouldn't tip though because he doesn't like poor people. Um, sorry, Mike, is a joke. I'm just playing, bro. Take it easy. Happy birthday, by the way.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
To the
Wow.
Swamp King.
Then after that, we went back to Corey's house and played some Super Smash Brothers. I think I won every game, so don't fact check that if they say I didn't, because I did. Um,
Classic.
Started drinking, and then we got an Uber to Dave and Buster's, and we were there for a while.
Nice. How was it? Fun?
It was really fun. We did I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like a fast pitch thing where you go and it measures the speed at which you throw something.
Okay.
And Wes's highest was like a 59.
Dang.
Mine was 62. Drew's was I think 66. Corey was in the 70s, maybe 77, 75 maybe. And then this like 10-year-old kid was behind us. And I was like, hey bud, what are you trying to get? He was like, I got 57 last time. I'm trying to get 60. And I was like, okay. And then Wes whispered, he's like, if this kid throws harder than me, I'm gonna go walk into traffic. And he the first throw throws a 69. So he threw it faster than all of us at
Yeah.
years old.
That's pretty embarrassing for all of you.
Except Corey.
70s is respectable, I'd say, for someone that's not currently playing the sport. But 50s is absurd. 60s is still bad.
Yeah, listen, I got a 62. My only goal was, well, the caveat was if you finished in last, you had to take a shot.
Classic. I'm a little disappointed in you, I'm not gonna lie.
How fast do you think I could throw it? How fast
Fast.
should I?
I think you could have hit 70.
Yeah, maybe if I warmed up.
No warm up, you should hit 70.
Um,
I think Sammy could go in there and throw mid 50s.
no,
I think so. She's a
no,
little feisty.
no disrespect, Sammy, but
Is
no.
it because she's a woman?
Yes,
Hey, DEI is out the window, okay?
I don't give a fuck. This isn't 2024 anymore, sister. Back in the fucking kitchen making sourdough bread.
Oh man.
She do be
Anyway,
making that sourdough.
that is a question I have for you whenever we get there. So, also we braved the tundra. We got 6 inches of snow.
Yeah,
This
that's in Myrtle? No.
No, in Wilmington.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah, you guys got more than we did, and we got a significant amount. I was shocked that it snowed, to be honest.
Me too. I'm shocked that it started. I mean, there's still snow on the ground
Yeah,
outside.
yeah, it's wild.
Um, I didn't get one day off of work.
Nice. I saw
The whole fucking town was shut down, and the Tuna Twins had to go in there, fucking keep the country running.
oh man.
I had to drive all the way to fucking Fayetteville and Sanford on Thursday.
That's wild. How were the roads?
Pretty shit in Wilmington. But once I got past Brunswick County, like Riegelwood area, it was fine.
Okay, I got you.
I think they had better like infrastructure over there, like actually like salted the roads good and
Yeah.
plow
I
trucks.
figured. Well, I'll get into our weekend a little bit. We had a pretty good weekend. We Friday night we went and got like happy hour. It didn't really turn into happy hour because we went a little later than we anticipated, but this place called Nonic. Sammy has been there before. This is my first time. And we had some good drinks. I had they it's like a brewery style with the beers, it's all like craft beers. And I'd say we got like low key drunk Friday night. Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, low key drunk. It was fun.
I had like 3 drinks. That's not like me.
How'd you
And
guys get
then
home?
we Flintstoned it.
I'm
More
trying.
so, I feel like I was drunk and Trey was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Trying to catch you in a crime, dude. I'm about to call the fucking police.
Never a crime. And then Saturday morning I went and played pickup. And then we grabbed coffee at this new coffee shop downtown. Again, Sammy had been there. I hadn't. It was my first time. And then after that, we went and got a couple margaritas at this place we like to go to, Mixed Market. Always have good drinks. We watched a little bit of college basketball that was on. And then today we went and got brunch at this place. I'm gonna butcher the way it's pronounced. Sammy, you might know a little better than me, but
It was the
the
Goshes house,
the
is what it's
Goshes
called.
house, yeah. And we've seen it before. We just didn't realize it was a restaurant. And oh, look at the dogs. Fucking crazy hellions. But it was like built in 1839. It gave off like New Orleans style architecture. But really cool history. We kind of balled out at breakfast. They do like a breakfast buffet that's like $35 a person. Um,
Yeah.
was it worth it for Sammy? No, absolutely not. Was it worth it for me? I went in there and I I I put shit down.
4 plates.
I
4
put,
plates.
yeah, dude.
Four
I
plates.
I barely could walk out of that place.
His jeans were tight.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I know. And it was good. Like they had shrimp and grits, eggs, sausage, chicken and waffles, like you name it, they had it. And I dabbled in a little bit of everything. We also got a mimosa flight, which was not like small mimosas; they were full size mimosas. So we each had two mimosas and a buffet of breakfast. We spent a lot of money, 155 on
Damn,
brunch.
damn, bud.
Like I said, we balled out a little bit. But it was like 110 before the tip. And then like after we got back, the waitress was really nice and she asked us if we wanted like a private tour of the home. And the owner came in and showed us like all this other stuff. And it's 1839 in Georgia, right? So like they showed us like what used to be the slave quarters and the Butler House and like all kinds of cool stuff, and told us a little bit about the history and how it used to be a doctor's office during like um segregation time. And he showed us like where two separate entrances, two separate waiting rooms, and just told us all about that. And it was pretty wild. Cool place though.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
It
Was it
was.
Ghost? And this is where you ate breakfast too?
This was like the brunch spot, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was yeah, the Goshes house, and that's the last name of the family that originally built it.
Okay.
Yeah, but so 155 for brunch. Then we went to the grocery store, spent like 180 on groceries. And we rarely eat out. So, that 180 on groceries gets us technically 42 meals, right? 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, one for each of us. And then we go to brunch and spend 155 on 2 meals, which is craziness.
Yeah, I mean that's about what we spent on my mom's dinner on Friday, about 150.
Yeah. But I mean, it was worth it. We went in there kind of knowing we were going to spend some money,
You
but
gotta ball out every once in a while.
you got to ball out every once in a while. Exactly.
I know that hurts you. We got hoed at home. Fuck.
We got
Jesus.
we got to hold that food.
Uh, we got food at home.
Yeah, well now we do. We didn't this morning because we hadn't gone to the grocery store yet, but now we stocked. And then also we started the show Landman. Had you started it yet, Tyler?
Corey actually said he finished it and said it was like really good.
Yeah, we're like 4 episodes in and we're hooked, I think.
It's the same guy who direct or created Yellowstone, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Taylor Sheridan.
Mhm. Yeah,
Uh,
so he's the writer. Billy
this
Bob Thornton, main character.
great actor.
Yep. He's hilarious. Like his personality in the show, I think Sammy Loki has a little bit of a crush on him.
Whoa.
She hadn't said anything about it, but I could just tell she laughs at his jokes. So
Well, also, I haven't seen Varsity Blues, but apparently, Whipped Cream Bikini Girl is in Landman, if that means anything to you.
That does mean something to me.
yeah,
So I figured it would. She's in the show.
she's kind of a main character. She's a little wild, but obviously much older now.
Did she age gracefully?
She looks great. I know her from Legally Blonde. The girlies that know, no. But, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and just you said Sammy laughs at Billy Bob Thornton's jokes, so she has a crush on him. Sammy laughs at my jokes, so
Yeah,
Secret's out.
hey,
Sammy laughs at your jokes to make you feel better about yourself because she knows you have crippling depression. So she doesn't want to send you into a spiral and
Oh man.
me lose a friend out of it.
into some liberal mania.
Yeah, but one thing about the show that I thought was cool. So obviously Billy Bob Thornton is the coach in Friday Night Lights, right? Um, the show Landman takes place in like Midland, Texas. And actually, like, this is not going to give anything away in the show or anything, but they go in like the first episode or something, they go to a Permian Panther football game, which is the coach that he was the coach for in Friday Night Lights. And I
Oh,
think they just kind of like put that little piece in there to do it. And it was hilarious.
you know what
Just
they
seeing
call
him
that
there. No, I don't.
when shows do that? It's called the Easter egg,
Okay.
like
But
like a little something you find.
okay, that's cool. Yeah, I was watching it and I was like, huh, that's pretty funny.
That is cool. I like stuff like that.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, that's basically our weekend. We had a pretty eventful weekend. We had fun.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed your trip to the Ghost House and Billy Bob Thornton.
Hell yeah.
All right, now we're gonna get into the guest interview portion of this, Sammy. So it's time for you to answer some questions.
Okay. Y'all just ignore the dogs in the background.
Yeah,
I already
I can hear them. I know you were on mute for a second, Sammy. I can hear them in the room.
are they going hammer?
They're just like
They're
wrestling.
playing with a toy, wrestling, being loud, and I left the room to get away from them, and they followed me. So
They want to know what their mom is doing.
yeah, I guess so. They'd be following me.
So obviously this is a sports podcast. I don't know how much of this you've listened to. Do you listen to every episode? I'm sure you do.
Every episode.
Good. Good. Confirmed. So you know we talk a lot about sports. I would like you to go into some details about your soccer career at Colonial Forge, if you don't mind.
Well, to be honest, it wasn't long lived. I only played soccer for Colonial Forge my freshman year, and then I stopped because I was doing a travel team with my best friend. Shout out Peyton Curry if you're listening.
And we know
I
you
doubt
are.
it. But I did a travel like team with her dad as the coach, and then I was more of a horseback riding Gorley once I was in high school.
And they call that equestrian.
Yes, I was an equestrian, if you will.
And how'd you get into that?
I was always the obsessed horse girl growing up.
Please tell me you weren't one of
Um,
those kids who like rode around on like a broom that had like a horse head.
no, I didn't neigh at anybody or do anything weird. Um, but I always liked horses and wanted to ride horses. But for those of you that don't know, I lived in South Korea for 6 years and they don't exactly have horse stables around for you to ride horses. So I didn't get to start riding until I was 12, so like seventh grade. And then rode through middle school, high school, and then some in college. And then I became an adult and realized it's expensive and we moved too much. So unfortunately, I don't ride horses anymore.
Did your school have like an equestrian team, or was it more of like a club thing in your town?
No, and not through like the high school. There was I can't even think of what it's called now, but like essentially like high school like competition level for horseback riding. So whenever I would do shows, I competed against other like high school age people basically. Um for like my age group, and we would compete against other stables.
And were you good?
I think so. I think I was pretty good. Obviously, there were a lot of girls who had been riding since they were like 4 or 5, and their parents bought them horses, so they just were around it way more often than I could be. So I definitely think there were a lot of people better than me, but I think I was pretty good at it for the time I did it.
And that's one of those things, obviously, where you're gonna have to. Do you rent a horse like that you use for the time?
So it kind of just depends. You can like lease a horse, and like I could lease a horse with like 3 other people, and we just share a schedule of when we take turns going out and riding it basically. Or typically most barns, they just have like a set like horses that they use for lessons, and that every weekend you kind of just rode a different one or rode the same one. I always rode the same one every weekend. That was basically just like I didn't own it, the horse, but I was the one who rode it every week.
Okay,
If that
cool.
makes any sense. Sorry, I know this isn't that exciting.
This is literally what I wanted to talk about, so it's fine. Um, why don't we jump into this next one real quick?
Yep, sounds good.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Equestrian Girlies podcast. I'm here with Equestrian Girly 2018 Wilmington, Trey's wife.
Yeah, what's up? We're back. Great sponsored ad from the Equestrian Gorleys. Tyler, I think you got to throw an O in girly, so it's Gorley.
Gorley.
Goalie.
Gorley, yeah. So back into the interview, Sammy, I have a question for you. Obviously, we
Yes.
have Jazz, who is the sweetest angel on earth, right? And now we just got a new dog, a new little puppy who's how old now? What, 3 months and some change?
He'll be 4 months next Sunday.
4 months next Sunday. So he's getting a lot bigger with that, and he's got a lot of energy. I know that I have been gone a lot since we've had him. Like I had the school, and then I'm gone for work every day. So you're the one that's doing a lot of like the training, and I'm just trying to help you reinforce the training. So um talk a little bit about like what you do, because Kobe's doing well. He's pretty much potty trained other than rare accidents here and there. He does really well in the leash. He does really well with in the backyard. If you tell him to come, he comes. Um, so just kind of how are you? What's your go-to?
Well, honestly, I feel like just keeping a routine with him every single day to wear him out and to also just keep up with training, because puppies are like kids. If you don't keep up with the curriculum, they're going to forget what they're learning. So just reinforcing it every day. But honestly, just the experience with the Paws for People dogs and the training that we had to do with them is like giving me ideas for what I want of Kobe, basically how I want him to be when he's a grown dog, and to listen, because as always, I don't want to be that person where we're coming into town and it's like, oh, Sammy and Trey are coming and they're bringing Kobe. Great. You know, I never want that response to be from us having a crazy dog. So, but yeah, basically just going in the yard and practicing a bunch of different commands to keep him focused on me. And it seems to work pretty well. He's very smart. He learns new commands within like a 5 minute window. Um, he doesn't always listen to them because he's a spaz, and let's say he has a smooth brain. So he loses focus very easily.
Yeah, how does the saying the TikTok go? You got a smooth brain.
No ridges or lumps, no valleys or bumps. All
Yeah,
thoughts slide right off.
yeah, he's a
That's
smooth
Kobe.
brain boy.
But yeah,
Um,
long story short, keeping a routine and doing it every single day so that he doesn't forget the commands that we teach him.
yeah, and speaking of Kobe, today is the 5 year anniversary of Kobe Bryant's death. Um, which that's a pretty sad day. Obviously, we're happy we have Kobe, so it's a little different. But uh, I think pretty much all of us can probably remember where we were at when that inevitably happened. Do you remember where you were at, Tyler?
Yeah, I was at oh my God, I can't remember the name of the brewery now. It's on Randall. Literally just talked about it earlier today.
The one that
Um,
has like the tropical lightning, is that Wilmington Brewery?
that's Wilmington Brewery. That's off Kerr. This is
Oh,
which is really it was really close. Um, oh my God.
Fly
Fly.
Trap?
Yeah, I think it is Flytrap.
Fly something, yeah.
Yeah, I was there with Wes. Drew might have been. No, Drew said he was somewhere else. I was there with Wes, Marissa, my cousin Nick.
Yeah, that's why we were. I
Kevin and
was
Rich were there too.
Yeah, I was here in Georgia actually. I was at OCS, and I was getting ready to start my OCS class actually. And I was at this Japanese buffet type style place with some friends. Sammy was not with me because obviously I was like about to start training, but um, we still have not been back to that place because I feel like if I go there, something bad's gonna happen.
We were at a brewery called Flying Machine, not Fly Trap.
That's what it is.
Flying machine. Okay.
Yeah, don't ever go back to that place, Trey.
I know. I feel like I can't. It was good too.
Sacrifice you got to make, dog.
Yeah. But yeah, so this I thought we might get into that a bit, but um yeah, back to the guest interview. You got any more questions for Sam?
Yeah, I was going to ask you more about soccer, but I didn't realize that you only played 1 year. But did you play the rest of high school on that travel team?
Yeah, so I still played. It just wasn't like affiliated with the high school, but I also did like in the off season, they had the indoor soccer club that we did that was with the high school, and I did that. So I did indoor soccer with Colonial Forge, but then within like the spring season, I played on it wasn't called like a travel team, but there was like a name for it that I played on basically.
We had basketball stuff like that with where it's called like AAU.
Yeah, I said it's been a hot minute, but yeah, so that's what I did.
And then indoor soccer is a little different.
Yeah, you can obviously like use the walls, and it's almost like the sense of lacrosse, how you can go behind the goal and like utilize the space that way, which is pretty cool. I like it because it's more fast paced, and obviously it's a smaller like field that you're working on or playing on rather. So that's really fun.
That's pretty cool. I didn't realize that you did that. You're just, this podcast just caters to super athletic people, super talented people, you know. No
Our kid's
surprise.
gonna be a mathlete one day.
Oh, your kid's gonna be a fucking goober, dude.
Play the
Uh,
trombone.
no, that's Bryson Clare's kid.
Yeah, their kid will play
They'll
the tuba.
they'll have the athlete, and you guys will have a kid that's a goober.
They definitely won't be a mathlete because math is not my strong suit. Um, but yeah, any other interview questions, or you want to jump into the rest of the agenda?
Yeah, let's hit the rest of it. Sammy's kind of boring to talk to.
Honestly, I am, I feel like, but it's okay. Continue on.
That's
No,
pretty neat.
I'm just busting. I'm just busting, dude.
It's just busting. So we're watching some playoff games. Um, the Eagles just now, breaking news, beat the Commanders, right?
It's still on. Well,
It's
maybe
still
your TV's delayed.
it's still on, but they are up by 31. It's 54-23.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
they're
they
giving
just got
pretty
a
good.
touchdown on the TV.
Um, I mean, in reality, the Commanders probably didn't belong in the NFC Championship. I think they had a crazy successful season with a rookie quarterback, even getting there. So nobody really expected them to beat the Eagles. Eagles are kind of a juggernaut. Their
Oh,
running
what?
game is a juggernaut.
Oh, my bad. I thought you said Joker nut.
No, I didn't. I don't think. I didn't mean to, at least. Um, But one thing I want to ask you is when the Commanders beat the Lions, did you hear about Dan Quinn's speech?
No.
He apparently gave some like pregame speech, and it was kind of like military focused, I guess, about like it's either them or us. And he said something along the lines of they're going to scratch and claw, and they're going to get their licks in, but they're the ones that are going to be motionless at the bottom of the bathtub, and we'll be the ones standing over top of them.
Nice.
Nice. If that doesn't get you going, I don't know what does.
And they fucking lost anyway.
No, that was Dan Quinn's speech, the Commanders head coach.
Oh, I'm thinking about other Dan. Dan Campbell.
Yeah, you were thinking Dan Campbell. This is Dan Quinn, the guy that used to be the coach of the Falcons. So I
Yeah,
thought that was pretty sweet.
I guess he didn't give that speech today.
No, probably not. Um, but that fired me up.
Yeah, that makes me want to go out and fucking drown somebody in a bathtub.
Oh my.
Yeah, yeah, I could get behind that. Um, but right, a little gambling. So I've been using Chat GPT to pick my picks for sports bets. And I used it a little last week. I took the Chiefs -9.5 versus the Texans, the Rams +9.5 versus the Eagles, Ohio State -8.5 against Notre Dame.
Nice.
Yeah, I see, I'm getting better. And then today, Eagles -6 against the Commanders, which is going to play out. And I kind of want you to read you what Chat GPT says to me, kind of. So I basically say, hey, this is, oh, of course it went away. So I'm not going to read you because it went away. But I basically put in the thing about, hey, the Commanders are playing the Eagles. It's in Philadelphia. The spread is this. What would be the safer bet? And it gives me all this data about Eagles are playing well. It's at home, blah, blah, blah. And then ultimately at the bottom, it says the safer bet would be Eagles -6. So I've been just rolling with that. I took the Eagles -6, and tonight I have the Chiefs -1.5, which both of those teams I don't want to win. I would have rather the Commanders win 100%, and I definitely want the Bills to win. If I was making the bet on my own, I definitely would pick the Bills because I think they're going to win. But what I'm doing is I'm just riding with what Chat GPT says, and so far I'm undefeated. So we'll see.
I'd like to see it play out like if you did every game, like throughout the whole regular season to get like a big sample size to see what the percentage would be. Because
Right.
obviously it wouldn't be 100%, but um and if it was, we could buy some fucking nice podcast equipment.
Heck yeah. Um, so yeah, I'm just kind of trying to see what's out there. And I think, maybe like we clip the video from we do like a AI sports gambling segment of the podcast, and we clip that section of the video and then put it on TikTok talking about like, hey, this is where we're at, this is what we're doing. Like I think that could be a cool thing.
Let's do it.
We got to get cameras that don't look like they're from 2008, but
Or we could just like have Sammy and Marissa be on camera so like they see attractive women and then they're like, "Oh, okay, I'll watch."
now you're thinking
And then
women, sports betting, AI, that might be the move.
yeah, because no one wants to see us.
No,
Well, I mean,
absolutely
they
not.
probably want to see me, but um, and see
Yeah.
that, see that
Maybe
laugh.
maybe if you keep losing the pounds and stop getting CCs, they might want to see you.
All right, well, dad bods are in, buddy.
Yeah. The definition of a dad bod, we're gonna have to look into a little bit.
I may have surpassed. I'll laugh at that.
See, she's laughing at me.
Well, she's your wife. She has to.
True. All right.
Uh,
What? Go
let's
ahead.
quickly on fantasy. I'm gonna lose. The league is rigged.
Let's hold on fantasy. I got one more thing to talk about sports. My alarm's going off to put my bed in, but Jets. I'm gonna talk Jets for a second.
Great hire, Aaron Glenn. Good hire.
They did hire him. It's official.
Yeah.
So Lions defensive coordinator, that's correct, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think that's a great hire. And I think it's even cooler that it's his 31st year after being drafted by the Jets. He wore number 31. So I think the timing is good. I think he's a proven good defensive coordinator. I think he's gonna be a big culture guy. He obviously had a lot of success with the Lions. He's a player's coach. I think the guys are gonna respect him. And I think it's a good pickup.
So one thing I'm like, okay, great move. I don't know about the GM hire. We hired the guy he was the assistant GM of the Broncos, been with the Broncos organization, I think, for 10 years, but he's never been a GM before, only been an assistant GM. But he's like a guy who's worked himself up from like video coordinator. So I obviously respect the hustle. I just don't know if we want to go with the guy with zero GM experience.
Yeah.
This as his first job because
Yeah,
the organization is completely toxic.
yeah, but Broncos have had a pretty successful organization. They've had some down years, but um, I think that's a good organization to come from.
Yeah, I mean, Elway seems like he's a good guy.
Yeah, as far as we know. But yeah, let's go fantasy basketball. How you looking?
I'm going to lose this week. The league's rigged. I would have lost even if I started Gafford, who I left on my bench when he scored 54 points, fantasy points. So this week is a wash. I don't really care. Bored.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal. I am down against Jake. Surprise, surprise. 658 to 673. I do have four people playing tonight. Caruso, both Jalen Williams from OKC and Jeremy Grant to play, and he has zero. So I have a fighting chance.
You should win.
I should win. Should is the key word in that scenario. But um, my question for you is has the win streak started?
For you,
Yeah,
it's time.
it's time.
Yeah, it's time.
All right, we'll put the foot on the
Go.
pedal and see how it goes. With that, I do have to say that there's only two teams that I would have beaten this week, and it's Jake and Corey. So maybe it's not time.
Yeah, you stinky. You bad.
Maybe it's not time.
You bad at this.
Yeah. Well, hey, this potentially could give me my third win, which I'll
Shit,
take.
shit ain't sweet in this league, buddy.
Yeah, shit's sweet.
All right, you want to pop into random questions?
Yeah, let's do random questions.
Now, Sammy's been briefed, and she told me that she does have two. Is that right, Sammy?
I have one.
Okay, well,
I only came up with one question.
um, that's not going to work for me. So whenever like Trey will go, I'll go, you go.
Wait, I'll think of it. I got another one. Okay. I
You
just
can just think
randomly
of
thought
the
of one.
bullshit. Half of my questions have been bullshit, and
Okay.
we've done 66 episodes. So,
That's okay. I
Half,
just thought of
half.
one. So I got two questions now, so don't yell at me.
and then after that, we'll do our segment of pets peeves that we call Pat's peeves, which we're going to get trademarked and put on some t-shirts.
That would be hilarious. We should do that.
I mean, it would make 10 people laugh, and it's worth it to me. I think that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
All right, we'll get on it. Okay, so first random question. What's the coolest thing you've ever done?
Are you asking me or the group?
Well, so the way it'll go, whoever wants to answer first can answer first, but it generally goes Tyler will answer and then you'll answer. But if you're not ready for your answer yet, then I'll kind of go so you can have some time to think about it.
Yeah, well, why don't you tell me, unless Sammy has what she has done, why don't you tell me what yours is? Because I need to think about that for a second.
Okay, so I'd say the coolest thing I've ever done. It might not be cool to everybody, but when we were in Poland, we were doing a Miklik range. And I know you guys don't know what Mikliks are, but it's basically shoots out a line charge with a rocket and explodes a bunch of C4 and creates this big fireball. And one of the rockets didn't detonate, essentially. So we got a misfire, and we were in Poland, so we had to work with like the Polish EOD, explosive ordnance disposal, and we got to go out there with them. It was like me and a couple guys, and we were with these Polish sappers basically, and we got to get in this bunker with them, spool out all this TNT and use their electric detonators essentially. And we were like in this underground bunker detonating a rocket with TNT in Poland. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
I was being a good podcast partner and listening to your story intently and didn't even think of anything I've ever done.
You want me to go
So,
next?
yeah, you go, Sammy.
First thing I can think of, was a long time ago, but I went to China with my family. I don't even know what year, but I went to the Great Wall of China, and that was pretty cool. Obviously, did not walk the whole thing, but we walked some of it.
That's
Still
pretty
cool
cool.
nonetheless.
I would love to do that. I think China would be such a cool place to go visit and like explore because obviously not many people think about that as a vacation. They think if you're going to Asia, a lot of people do Japan,
Hmm.
um, but China would be so cool.
Have you looked at like an aerial view of like what the Great Wall actually looks like?
Yeah, we talked about it on the podcast one time actually,
Oh
and
yeah, I listened to that episode.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
now.
Um, I'm glad we have such great listeners and friends.
But
Friends
it's
of
absurd. Like how big the Great Wall of China actually is nuts.
conspiracy theory. I think it was built to keep something out. I mean, to
That's a
keep
great
some.
segue for my question. We can do that after.
Okay.
Answer your question or answer Trey's question, and then we can move on.
Oh, coolest thing I've ever done.
Marry Marissa.
I mean, that's the best thing.
Good answer.
Good. Good answer.
Um,
Good thing she won't listen to this, and you'll get no brownie points for
yeah, I'll get nothing for that one.
it.
Just Mike calling me a cuck.
Oh, Jesus.
Um, I'm trying to think like the only thing that's coming to my mind is like playing with one leg basketball, but that's like not cool.
Well, I mean, it's cool for some people. I'd say you made the team junior year essentially on one leg.
Yeah, with playing with a torn meniscus, just absolute. I mean, that's like a thing where I'm like if I ever did anything that was badass, it would be that.
Yeah, okay. I like it.
But but cool. I mean,
You're not the coolest
yeah,
guy.
I just am kind of coming to the realization I've never done anything cool.
Well, that can be on your 2026 New Year's resolution. Let's do something cool.
Well, going to Canada was cool.
That
That's
was
what I was
cool.
gonna say. Going to Canada, I feel like that's pretty cool.
British Columbia was really cool.
Yeah,
Like crossing the border into Canada, I saw probably like 50 wild bald eagles.
that's pretty nuts.
So that was cool. Like right there, like we're leaving America and there's 50 bald eagles. Like it was kind of weird, actually.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah, I'll
Think
do
they
that.
you think they were trying to tell you something? Is life really a simulation?
Yeah, I mean, if there was like a straight line across, there was fucking bald eagles, then we're in Canada. So definitely simulation.
Interesting.
So yeah, I guess my cool thing is seeing wild bald eagles.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, question number two. Do we want to skip you and go to Sammy since we had a good segue into hers?
Um, yeah, we can go out of order.
It don't matter.
Go for it,
Okay.
Sammy.
What is a conspiracy theory that you 100% believe in to be true? Like, there's no way it has to be true.
Trey, you go first.
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Man,
I'm not huge on conspiracy theories, to be honest. Um, I don't like the whole like Bush did 9/11. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think it was some inside job, and that's a big one that a lot of people talk about. Um, no, I don't really have a conspiracy theory that I'm like sold in, I don't think. Other
Uh,
than there's probably in, all these assassinations that we're gonna potentially get the files to. Now we'll see how redacted they are, but like the JFK, RFK, and MLK,
I that's one I could believe. I think there was more than one shooter for the JFK thing.
that and who maybe played a role in that, I could see potentially being some sort of conspiracy, for some government to be involved in those.
Yeah, I could get behind that. But I am never gonna do anything with that slanders George Bush.
Yeah, W. I mean,
It,
you can't be slandered when you throw out a first pitch like that.
even if he did kill all of them. That was a hell of a pitch.
Hell of a pitch.
Jesus Christ.
Um, here's one that I believe in 100% more than the JFK one is that I don't think Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. I don't believe that at all.
No
That's
way.
Yeah, that's definitely a big one. So what do you think happened? Do you think he was killed, or you think he's still running around somewhere?
Oh no, he's definitely dead. But I think he was killed and then they literally hung him
Mm,
to make it look like he committed suicide.
okay. I think Tupac, Biggie, there could be definitely some conspiracies around there. Don't think Tupac's still alive, but was he killed at that night in Las Vegas? I don't know.
That's an interesting one.
Sammy, you got one?
Here's another one that I
Okay.
don't believe. I think Michelle Obama is a woman.
I think
People
Michelle
think she's
Obama.
not.
I think she's a woman. Yeah, I've heard that. I got cornered at a wedding one time, and this guy was like, Michelle Obama is a man, and I was like, I, I, I entertained it for a second. And he was like, Barack has said Michael on multiple occasions at a speech, and I was like, I mean, people can have like fuck up. I
Yeah.
mean, Michelle and Michael are like kind of close.
I said Fudge Rodriguez one time, so
Yeah, he talked about it. I mean, I got cornered at that wedding. He talked about it to me for 45 minutes.
that's the worst, getting cornered at a wedding for someone you don't really know. And you're just like, I'm just trying to go have fun with some friends.
He was at the table, and I was like a super like not involved with the wedding at all.
Mm.
So like there's nothing you can do. He just keeps telling me Michelle Obama has a penis. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, bro. I just want to
Sound
go catering.
sounds like he's interested.
Yeah, I was like, listen, if you just want a black man's wiener in your mouth, just say that.
All right, Sammy, you got one?
Sammy, what's going on? Why are you covering your face?
I have many. I feel like Hitler, I do not think killed himself. I think he escaped somehow and went to like South America somewhere. I do not believe that he killed himself. Um, that's one. And then another one, I feel like, uh, when's the last time you've been to a Chuck E. Cheese?
What do you think is wrong with Chuck E. Cheese?
If you look up pictures of Chuck E. Cheese pizza, I've seen videos of people going there. The slices don't line up. And like it almost looks like they take pieces that are left over from people's tables, put them together to make a new
Oh
pizza.
God.
And I
Oh,
always thought that was the craziest thing. But Todd took my niece Chandler to Chuck E. Cheese for some god fucking reason. And I was like, send me a picture of your pizza when y'all get it. Sure enough, the crust didn't line up. Some pieces had like half a pepperoni where the other half didn't. It's like they put together random slices to make a pizza.
like a Frankenstein pizza?
Yes. So it's like, you're telling me that that's a one solid pizza that they make? No.
That's
Allegedly, they put the pieces together from other leftovers that people leave behind to create new pizza.
that's disgusting. If
It's a
that,
little
Look it up.
disturbing.
Look up Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
I used to be terrified of the band when I was a kid.
I still am. Yeah, that's one I also believe in. Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese and Hitler.
Yeah,
There you go. That's the
well,
name of that podcast episode.
that's something that people really don't talk about. You know how like the Nazis Operation Paperclip, where
Mhm.
would hire
Something like
Nazis
that.
and they would come like work in NASA and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, a displaced um German refugee, potentially Nazi, was a partner in the original Chuck E. Cheese.
Really?
Well,
No, I made that shit up.
Classic. Sam, what was that show we watched about like hunting Nazis?
I think it's called Hunters.
Hunter or Hunters, yeah.
Yeah,
I watched the
highly
first
recommend.
season.
I think there's 2 or 3 seasons out. It's pretty crazy.
It
I
was pretty
watched the
wild.
I watched the first one, like the twist
Yeah.
in the first season was crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah. And there's big South America ties to
Yeah,
that. And they talk a lot
Venezuela.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, there were, I mean, because that, I mean, that did happen. A lot of Nazis moved to Argentina because they didn't have
That's
extradition
what it is. Yeah,
extradition
Argentina.
laws.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
cool.
maybe he's still there.
Who, Hitler?
I'm just kidding.
Tell him to
No.
come. Tell him to come up to the 910, dude.
Yeah.
I got a couple. I got a couple American knuckle
Just
sandwich.
a couple American
geez.
fisticuffs. Okay, Tyler, you got a question?
Yeah.
All
You want to
right.
hear?
I'd like to.
This was Wes said something about there was like 30 geese outside, and he was like, those could probably kill a person. And it got me thinking, how many geese do you think you could fight off and survive?
Before we get into this, did you see that video talking about? I know it's not true. He didn't say this, but Trump changed the plural of moose to meese.
No.
I saw a funny video that sparked. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
fucking Christ. That's the road we're going down, guys.
Obviously, it was made up, but okay. So, how many geese could you fend off before they killed you?
Where you could survive. Yeah, like so. And the geese are trying to kill you. Every one of them is trying to kill you. You don't have any weapons. You're fully clothed though, so it's not like you're naked. And you have on shoes, for potential stomping.
Oh man, could I use a goose as a weapon?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sammy's got the motion down. But I don't know. I think honestly 30 is probably around the number. Um, I think I could get through 30. But man, I mean,
That's a
especially
lot, dude.
that's a lot. That's what I was saying. Like, and they're just all coming to nip at you. But I think the strategy would just be kick the first one as hard as possible, just right in the chest. Death on impact, gotta be.
Shatter its breastplate.
Yeah, death on impact. And then hopefully that would slow them down a little bit.
What do you think it gives them pause? Do you think they're sentient enough to go, oh, he just caved my friend's chest in? Let me fucking whoa. No, they're all coming at you, dude. They're killer geese.
Yeah, so the first, I think 7 would be easy. I think I get through 7 pretty tough. I'll get some nips. After that, you're gonna be pretty much swarmed. Unless they came one at a time. If they came one at a time,
If they came one at a time, I could kill 1,000 of them.
right. Till you get exhausted to the point where you couldn't shatter their breastplate anymore.
I think 15 for me.
Yeah,
I'm
if
thinking 15, but some of them
yeah,
are pretty big.
Yeah, and geese are like really fucking mean.
they're aggressive. I think, yeah, I still wanna say I could do 30, but that may just be unrealistic.
Yeah, I mean, if you can keep your distance, but also you have to think they can fucking fly. So they're coming at
Yeah,
you from above.
that's a game changer for sure. I was thinking use one as a weapon, like you kill the first one, grab it by its neck, start swinging it around, hitting the others. But I feel like the head just might rip off the body.
Yeah.
We get 100 listeners on this episode. Trey will try it out for us.
Yeah, there we go.
If we hit 100 listeners, Trey will murder a goose and then kill its
He
family.
would crush their breastplate.
Oh,
Like and
shit.
subscribe.
Oh,
I like,
shit.
you ever seen those videos like people on a podcast and then somebody animates what they're talking about?
Oh,
Those,
yeah, I have.
that'd be funny if someone animated like you killing a goose.
We could try. I don't know if I'm technically sound enough to do that, but oh man. Okay. Question number 2. What makes a house a mansion? Like, is there a characteristic? Is
Well,
there
like, are we talking about like literally like a fucking rapper's kind of mansion, or just like a mansion in my eyes?
just what would make a house a mansion? Like, what would take that from being a house to now a mansion?
If you have like 7 bedrooms,
Hmm.
7 bed, let's say you got 7 beds, 8 baths, 6,000 square feet.
The
You got
movie theater in the basement,
yeah,
four-car garage.
So
you
like
got a basketball
that's
court.
that's the distinction for you: 7 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms.
I've never even been in a house that big, so yeah, and I've been in some big nice houses.
Okay. Sammy, you got an idea of
Property,
what's your characteristic? What makes something a mansion?
arches.
Arches, got to have arches.
If it's like called an estate or something
Nice.
fancy sounding, but I feel like I'd say at least 10 bedrooms, four-car garage.
See, I knew you grew up with money. You went right to 10 bedrooms. Yeah, you rich.
Well, because you think about it, a single family home could have 5 bedrooms. I mean, we have
We have a
4
four-bedroom
bedrooms.
house.
Like I said, you motherfuckers is rich.
We also live in probably the cheapest state to live in, but
Yeah, moved to Alabama.
I'd rather put a gun in my mouth.
Yeah.
um okay, so I did some research because I was thinking about this, especially when we were looking at this house to go eat brunch, on what makes a house a mansion. And the definition of a mansion is at least 5,000 square feet, at least 5 bedrooms, and sits on small acreage.
So I was pretty close.
Yeah, I'd say with the square feet, I think the square feet is a big distinction. At least 5,000 square feet.
Yeah, I mean, because your house is what, 2,000 square feet and you have 4 bedrooms?
Yeah, under. We're like 18.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, that makes sense too, because you obviously have an open concept like living room, but a lot of your square footage is rooms. So it's not
Right,
like you can walk freely in between all of it in
for
like
sure.
big open spaces.
Yeah, no doubt. And then large homes with a lot of land are classified as estates.
There you go.
So it has
Wow.
to have small acreage can be considered a mansion, but if it has a lot of land, it's considered an estate.
I feel like that's kind of semantics because if I have a fucking 20,000 square foot house, but I also have 200 acres, you're not going to call my shit a mansion?
What's an estate at that point?
No.
Look, I just report the news.
Oh, God.
Okay, Tyler, you got question number 2?
Yep. I got it.
All right.
What is the last movie that both of you saw in theaters?
Oof.
The Air movie, the
What movie?
Nike one. Wasn't it
Oh,
called Air or
Oh,
something?
yep.
about the Jordans?
Yep, Air.
Yeah,
Okay.
We saw it together.
we did.
I wasn't thinking about the possibility that you saw the movie together.
Yeah, honestly, the last time I saw a movie without Sam was probably like with you. And that's been a long time.
It's probably Star Wars.
Yeah, probably.
Last movie I saw in theaters was Nosferatu.
Oh, how was it?
It was good. There was a lot of like weird sex scenes with a vampire.
Interesting.
I
And he
wouldn't
wasn't
expect it.
he
It's like
wasn't a
that.
hot vampire. He was like grotesque.
Oh,
Hence weird.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the next movie you will be seeing in theaters?
I don't know. There's not really anything out right now that I'm really like clamoring to get to.
Yeah. Yeah, same. I mean, I have no idea what we might be seeing. It'll probably be another 10 years.
I just unpopular opinion. Don't really like going to the movies.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on as a guest.
I don't know why. I just feel like I feel like every time I go, there's a person that's like, I guess I did go back in October to see the Beetlejuice movie with a friend I made here, and there was a lady sitting next to us, like on the phone, texting, watching videos, like the entire time. It was so annoying.
Yeah, that's been one of our pets peeves is people being like that in the movies.
Yeah.
Very annoying. Like
Time.
the same person.
Time.
What?
We're running out of time.
Oh, okay. Time. I was like, I thought you were saying something about Hitler in there. All right, we'll jump into the next one.
Yeah. So anyway, we're back.
Like we never left. All right, so I think Sammy, it's your turn for random question part 2.
Yes. I'm trying to think of what I thought of. What is one of y'all's favorite memories together?
Me and Tyler?
Yeah, circa the
Ooh.
days of like the picture of like this podcast cover.
Yeah.
Like pick a
Favorite. There's
fave
not
mem.
not many good ones.
You guys have lots of good ones.
You know, sports in high school are always good. One that's coming to mind is when we both got cut from the basketball team sophomore year of high school. And, I didn't make it my freshman year either, so it wasn't as hard on me. Tyler did make it his freshman year and put on a little weight. And
that is not why I got
well, whatever. But let me finish my story. Okay. Have some respect.
That's revisionist history, bro.
So we look at the list. We didn't make it. He was distraught. He had to leave school. And, me being the other person that didn't make it, fuck it, might as well skip school with him. We walked home and my mom caught us skipping school. She was driving from home to work because we left school at like, 8:30 in the morning. And
You're getting stories mixed up.
no, I'm pretty
I
sure
didn't
this
realize
was
that
that
was the
day.
same day, but
No, you're getting stories mixed up.
It wasn't the same day.
No,
I think it was the same
I'll
day.
tell you what happened. Me and you did skip school, but
Yeah.
that wasn't before I cried for an hour and a half. Um,
oh,
I punched some lockers in the hallway, and Alex, oh my God, he had a brother named John. He was a running back on the football team.
Oh, Kennedy.
Yeah, he walked by me and was like, "Yo, are you all right?" Like never talked to me before, but I was like obviously crying and punching the lockers in the hallway. He's like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good, dude." And then I went and talked to Coach McSwain and sat in his office for like 2 hours and cried. Um, and then we skipped school and we came to your house. But the day that you're talking about was going to be like my memory. What happened that day? We were older, but we weren't. It might have still been our sophomore year, but it wasn't that same day because neither one of us had cars. Your mom took us to school in the morning. She drove us there. And then she dropped us off. We went in school and then walked out.
Yeah.
Like we didn't go to any classes. Walked in, walked out because she's on her way to work. And then we get back to right across the street from that gas station, right in front of Mike's neighborhood. And a car, we're not even looking, we're just, bullshitting. And she drives up behind us and lays on her horn. And this was probably actually the start of my anxiety. I thought we were getting fucking murdered.
Yeah,
And
that
then
was funny.
she, we got in the car. I think she yelled at us for a little bit and then let us skip anyway.
Yeah, she
that's
just took
what
us back to
makes
the
me laugh.
house.
She let y'all skip anyways. I'm like, Krista.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some good ones. Obviously, too many to say on the podcast, but pretty much all of high school, all of college, all of after college, we like literally worked together. Those apartments at Clear Run, we definitely have some good times
Mm-hmm.
and some bad, but mostly overshadowed with good, I'd say.
Do you remember that one time when, because I always say shit like, "Oh, I'll slap the shit out of you."
Yeah,
And you said, "No, you won't." And then I did slap you in the face. Do you remember that?
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And one time you followed through on anything in your life.
You said, "No, you won't." And then I slapped the fuck out of you.
Yeah, you slapped me pretty hard.
Wish I was there for that one.
I think you may have been.
I would remember if Tyler slapped you in the face. I
I'm
would
pretty
remember
sure.
that
Wasn't
moment.
that in like the parking lot of Clear Run after a night out one night?
No, 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 no. We were in the living room and my cousin was there, so I was trying to show off.
Classic. Yeah. Classic.
Mm.
Eh, good time.
Okay. What's your favorite memory of all of us, Sam?
Like the three of us specifically, like a memory of the three of us.
Not necessarily just the three of us, but just
Yes.
I
You
got
know,
some good ones with Tyler.
no, yeah.
yeah,
Just
go.
I love when we were at Cape Fear and me and Tyler had the same lunch break, and it was just like, okay, well, we have to have lunch together now every Tuesday, Thursday because we had the same lunch break while Trey's in class, and we would go to I Heart New York Pizza, or we would go to Islands, or what was that sandwich place?
Fat Tony's.
On a roll.
On a
Oh,
roll, yeah. Or we'd go
yeah.
there.
That place was awesome. You remember?
Can't even say it.
Yeah, we were walking, and this homeless dude came up to Sammy. He was like, "Yo, is that your girl?" And I was like, "Nah, that's my friend." And then he was like, "Well, she got a fat ass." And I was like, Sammy, we have to leave.
I was so scared.
This dude, at this stage of my life, that dude would have beat the fuck out of me and then eaten my skin or something, dude. He's crazy looking.
Yeah, thanks for sticking up for my lady.
Bro, I pushed her in the back and I said, let's get out of here.
You probably pushed her towards him and ran away.
Oh my God. Good
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, he didn't even hesitate. I was like, no, it wasn't even out of my mouth. And he was like, she got a fat ass. Good Lord, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Have some respect.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. All right, Pat's peeves. I got a couple, not too many. I'll just go ahead and get into them. People sending Instagram reels or TikTok videos that don't relate to me.
Oh yeah, going against the like, yeah, that's bad because
Because then I know you just sent it to 10 people.
I have kind of like a curated thing with everybody.
Yeah, I do too. Like it
Like
should be. These degenerates just send them to people that they don't apply to.
one thing that I sent Sammy that I only sent her, and I don't really even know why. It's like the Carnegie Museum of Natural History, and this dude telling snail jokes.
But they're always so good. Oh
Yeah,
my
That's
gosh.
funny.
or she'll send me something when it's like a dude will be like, um, it'll he'll be like, "Where are you?" or
Yeah.
some shit like
For everyone listening, Tyler had to turn his camera off to do
that.
that.
I couldn't get it out, man.
And then one thing I have to bring up is we were Friday night. No, this was Saturday. We were getting drinks at the bar, and these two white dudes were next to us, older, middle-aged white dudes. And
Worse.
the worst. Um, the bartender was like, I don't know if he was Hispanic necessarily, but he wasn't like white. You know what I'm saying? And the guy finishes his beer and he looks at the bartender and he goes, "Keep them coming, amigo."
Oh God.
And it
So
was
bad.
the most embarrassing thing. And I just looked at him and I was like, "Are you kidding me right now?" And I think he kind of sensed uh, that I was unhappy that he said that. And then he was just like, "Oh, yeah, just another Mick Ultra."
You're drinking Mick Ultras and you're
Mickey
saying
Ultra. Yeah. Keep them coming, amigo. And I was like, "You got to be kidding me."
that's why we have a bad name. Well,
I know.
I mean, it's just like you got these goofy ass motherfuckers saying shit like that. You know, if he was drinking like a Bud Heavy or something,
Mick Ultras.
at least fit the bill. Like you're
Yeah.
drinking Mick Ultras and you're doing that?
Yeah. It was bad.
Fucking weirdo, man.
All right. You got any Pat's peeves before we close it out?
Yeah, pockets that aren't deep enough for your phone.
Oof. Oof.
Like you
Yeah,
sit
that
down
sucks.
in your car and it falls out in the crack like every time, like in between the seats. I hate that shit. It's been happening to me a lot lately.
Yeah.
Get
Getting
them deeper
skinny.
pockets.
You're getting skinny there. Can't hold it in.
I got new pants, got a lot of new clothes,
I
little
hear
pot.
you. New clothes, little pockets. Sammy, you got any Pat's peeves for us?
Um, I think anyone who knows me knows that I'm a huge dog lover, so this is saying a lot if I say this. I hate when I go to someone's house and their dog is jumping on me and the owner doesn't do anything or react or make them get off me to the point where I'm having to like yell and discipline someone else's dog to get the F off of me. That's one of my Pat's peeves. When people just don't say
Name
anything.
drop whoever you're talking about.
I can't. But there's one person in particular. I hate her dog because it would always jump on me and ruin my sweaters. And she'd be like, "Oh, good boy." And I'm like, "Girl,
She's listening, whoever she is.
I doubt it."
Got it. All right. Well, that was cool. Glad I didn't have to have the awkward conversation with your dad, Tyler, because I was definitely going to ask him point blank to his face why he left you.
Yeah, he may have not shown up to the episode.
Hey, he didn't show up in my life. Why would he show up to this? You know?
Oh man, when I first saw the Zoom thing pop up with Louis Caproni, I literally almost shit myself.
Uh,
Let's get him on. Let's have the discussion.
Isn't he in the hospital for falling?
Should be.
oh my God. I forgot I showed y'all that picture. Don't repeat that.
Yeah, we just put it online for everybody to hear.
That'll be the picture of the episode.
That'd be good. All right, dude. Well, it's been real. It's been fun. Let's go watch some football.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.